Why stay local
From the clubs to the radio to the streets.
when you can go global? We are the all-new B100 World Hit Radio.
B100 World Hit Radio. I got a caller on the line. Where are you calling from?
This is Daniel Adlam. I'm calling from Mount Vernon, New York.
Okay, Daniel. Now, Daniel, you are our special guest for the day. Dan, you have such an amazing story. So first and foremost, I want to welcome you to B100 World Hit Radio on the Day Party with Kiara M. Your story of triumph is absolutely crazy. But for those who don't know, I want you to talk a little bit about it, all right? Because in a matter of months, your entire life changed, right? So tell us what happened to you, Daniel.
Well, basically, I started college, last year. Every freshman's dream is just to go in and have the perfect situation. But, for me, reality, actually hit and things changed. So basically, I had a best friend, she was going to another school and, there was just things going on with her. And, I, as a friend, I got her into my school and basically she attempted suicide. So I had to deal with that. And then when she did that, she was put on these, prescription drugs. And, with that, she started mixing it with alcohol. And then after that, she started to hit me. So this is my first time. That was my first time, really experiencing domestic violence from a friend. And, I've always heard about it, just I never experienced it. And then, you always hear about females going through it, but, you never really hear the male go through it. So I was really going through it alone, And, at times I actually blamed, God, for what I was going through, because I was asking, why would I get, punished for doing such a good deed? So, I've been abused for a month by this person until I decided, I was not going to let it happen anymore. And, I actually broke off that whole relationship with this friend. And then after that, I was hospitalized. So I was going through some health issues, and then it seemed like if it wasn't one thing, it was the other. I just kept on, having one thing after the other. It was like a never-ending cycle for me. And, one day I just, I keep on speaking to God. I'm a very religious person. My mom raised my sisters and I in church, so I would always speak to God, and I was like, God, you know what? I don't know what I'm going through, but I believe that you not only give us situations, but you gift us with situations so that we can know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that our stories could be used to inspire others. And I think that's, what I'm being used at today. So I started to learn different lessons along the way, and, I just started to journal it. And, after I started journaling, after a couple months, I had a book. And, it turned into a book called Lessons Learned. And after, I applied the lessons learned in this book, I started to get the most, offers and jobs I've ever gotten. I've gotten HBO offers, Netflix offers for acting. I've gotten reality show offers. I've gotten, a whole bunch of fashion shows and modeling and commercials. And I just believe that, this book brings a lot of personal growth and, professional growth. And it's something that can help, somebody who's in that situation where they don't know what their next move is. They feel like everything's hitting them at one time, but they can know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and God got them.
Okay. Now, Daniel, like I said, I read your story, and I was just a little bit confused. And so, I actually chatted with someone else about it. Like, listen, read the story. Let me know what you think. And we had the same questions. And so I wanted to raise them with you today when you called in. And that's just like, okay, you got to speak a little bit more about the extent of this friendship. Okay. Like, I want you to talk a little bit more about this friendship, because I know I would not have stayed around for that long time. If my friend was abusing me, I would have just walked away. So I need you to talk a little bit more about this friendship and why you decided to stay around so long.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So basically, this wasn't just any plain old friend. When I'm in a relationship, a friendship, I'm in these friendships for the long run, for the long haul. So this was a friendship that was over 10 plus years. We were friends from elementary school, and mind you, we're in college now, so you can imagine how many years have gone by. Our sisters were friends in middle school, so we inherited this friendship, and we even called ourselves brothers and sisters at some point,
Okay, so just for clarity, there was no romantic situation ever. Okay.
This person was like a sister to me. Yeah.
Okay.
So with that being said, if you hear somebody who you consider family, like a sister, saying, you know what, I'm contemplating suicide. At all costs, I'm the person, and I was raised to be the person to help them. I prayed with this person. My family, we try to get her out the house more so she can, be, around people that, she knew loved her so that she can, get better. So we got her transferred to my school, so I could watch her better. Her mother was content with that, and, I would watch her more. So we thought that this was a situation that worked better for everybody. But, again, she tried another attempt at college. So with that being said, I felt responsible because I got her switched to my school. So, not everybody's going to look at me in terms of her family. So, I got her to emergency counseling. I missed 2 weeks worth of classes just to get her to emergency counseling every day and, going through, the motions with her because this is my first time ever really experiencing or dealing with something to that extent. So, yeah, she was prescribed antidepressants, anxiety pills, but she started to mix them with alcohol. So that's when she started to become a different person and started hitting me. And at first, I was wondering myself, why stay in this friendship? But it's just, I kept on reminding myself that it's 10 years and, this is for a friend, it's for a good cause. Like, what would Jesus do? Like, that's all I'm thinking about. And I was being selfless. So with that being said, she started hitting me, I started taking it, and then the point where I decided to walk away is when I was in the makeup store one day having to buy makeup to cover up some, scars and cuts on my face that she left. Because that's what, my safety was really, really in jeopardy at that point. And it came to one whole big thing, and I just decided to walk away because, after you do all you can for someone, you have to just give it to God and walk away because you did what you can.
Absolutely. Now, was there ever a conversation between you and your friend? Like, at what point did you sit down with her and have that conversation and just say, like, look, I can't take this anymore, or you need help? Like, was there ever a conversation between you and her?
That's not even, to be honest with you, I'm being very transparent with you. That's not how it happened, to be honest. The way it had to happen was basically when it came to a head and I was really at the point where I had to wear makeup to cover up these stuff. We went back home for a weekend. I paid for a trip. We were on a, Greyhound back home, and we visited. And then when we were coming back to school together, she got aggravated on the bus. And, we got into, a little argument, and then I decided to move my seat. She literally got up and attacked me on the bus in front of everybody. There's women, children on the bus, babies on the bus. And at that point, I knew that, she doesn't care, anymore. There's nothing that she wouldn't do. She doesn't care where she is or what she's doing. She doesn't care who she's around. She'll attack me anywhere. And at that point, I know that it wasn't only unsafe for me, but it was unsafe for the people around us because you never know what this person's capable of when she has this, prescriptions and alcohol in her system. Then we were in class 2 days later, and then she's attacked me in class in front of everybody. This is like 50-plus students, a TA, and a professor.
And that's where the arrest happened.
That day, I couldn't do anymore. I had to walk away. It was just the safest thing that I could have done for myself because it was, reoccurring way too many times in public now.
Yeah. All right, so you got arrested. You were charged. University suspended you, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now you guys go to court. Let's fast forward a little bit. You guys go to court. I believe your charges, they were dropped, right?
Yes, actually, I was charged with third-degree assault because I defended myself. So, in today's society, how, society looks at it now is if a male defends himself or if a male, wins a fight or something, he's the aggressor, when it's not always the case, which is why I want to educate a lot of people nowadays that, men can be victims of domestic violence as well. So with that being said, I was charged with third-degree assault initially, but the judge, after, analyzing all the events surrounding my case, he literally reduced all my charges to just harassment because, that's what all he could do, but he knew, and he told me that he understood and he knew and that there's many people like me, and he told me to just keep my head up, and he looked at my resume and saw that, I've worked for Hillary Clinton, that I've done movie premieres, red carpets, that he knows that I have a good, head on my shoulders. So he said just, be encouraged. He told me to just stay out of trouble and just, in a year, everything will go off my record, which I thank God for because, that's not the story for a lot of men, who have to defend themselves when there's nothing else to do. A lot of men are, put behind bars, for years at a time. A lot of men have records that are really, messed up because a lot of women really provoke them, and then when they retaliate, the system just throws them away. But thank God that wasn't my story and that wasn't my journey.
Absolutely. Now, you went through a depression period. I've been hearing a lot of people lately speak about suffering from depression, especially people in the entertainment industry. So, when you were in your darkest hours, did you have a support system? I want you to speak a little bit about more specific measures you took to get out of that dark mental place.
Basically, I was, at a place in my life where I was doing a lot of the things that I said to myself that I was going to do from a young age. So with that being said, when you reach a place where you're not getting any work anymore, when you feel like you have no friends around, when you feel like, all hope is lost, you enter depression. And at first, you're going to deny everything. People around me thought I was depressed. And when they would say to me, I was like, no, I'm not depressed. Stop saying that I'm not depressed. I would deny it. But secretly, I knew that I was depressed, but it was the pride in me that did not want to admit that. And, for you to get better, you have to kill pride first within yourself. And as I said, my mom raised my sisters and I in church. So, a lot of times I would just have conversations with God and just, try to understand, what was going on in my life at the time. My form of depression, I would just eat a lot. Like, I would eat very unhealthy foods, and I was gaining a lot of weight. My weight was up and down. I developed sleep apnea. I had a lot of fatigue. There was just a lot going on in my body, and the depression came to a head where it landed me in the hospital, and that's when I had to make the decision to really try to choose to, either throw a pity party for myself every day for the rest of my life, or to overcome it and try to work harder to, reach that happy place that I was at before. And I made that decision to reach that happy place and apply the lessons learned like I talk about in the book. And that was the best decision I could have ever made for myself, because now I feel like I'm the best version of myself. This depression, it reintroduced me to myself, who I am, because a lot of people don't know who they are when they're going through depression. They lose themselves, and I lost myself. And, God and my family, thank God for them and some friends, they helped me, find myself again and find my inner strength.
Absolutely. What's the current state of your relationship with this friend as of right now?
We don't speak. There was an order of protection, put in place, which I feel like is best for everybody. But we don't speak, we still go to the same school, I'm returning, so we still go to the same school, but we're just going to stay far away from each other, and that's just the best we can do. I wish her all the best, in life, and, I would never want her to go through what, she went through with, the whole battling this mental, like battle of suicide and things of that sort. I never wish that upon my worst enemy. I wish her the best, but, in terms of a friendship between us, that can't, happen.
Okay, no, that's good to know. Now let's talk about why we're really here right now. So that's the whole backstory leading up to why we're on the phone today, and it's because you are releasing a book, and it's called Lessons Learned. So how long did it take you to write the book?
Yeah, roughly it took about, I'd say, a good 4 to 5 months. And basically, I didn't wake up one day and say I'm going to write a book. That's not how it came about. I have a couple of mentors who I speak to. So there's this author, his name is Kendra Dixon, and we spoke on the phone one day, and he told me, he said, I feel like you're at a place where you're comfortable, with yourself. And when you reach that place when you're comfortable with everything you're doing, you become unproductive. So
Well,
said,
that's
I
true.
want you to journal all of your thoughts, everything you feel like you've been going through, all of the thoughts that you have, everything that you want to do. Just put them in a journal. And at first I was apprehensive about doing it because, I'm not the person who really wanted to be dedicated to writing a journal every night, but I did do it. And, after a couple of months, I saw that this is something that should be shared with everybody, because there's universal topics that can be discussed at home with, parents and their children. I have a chapter in the book called Prominent Parents, where it talks about the relationship between between parents and their children and how it affects them when they grow up. I have chapters that talk about, children and teens in school, and how does their social environment, how does their social environment affect how they go into the corporate world and how they get jobs. I have a chapter called the Nikki Standard, where basically it talks about who you surround yourself with professionally and personally. And in that chapter, it talks about, how to, eliminate the bad energy around you. And I just felt that there's something for everybody in this journal. So then I started to write a book, and the thing about it is it's very hard to write a book, especially in this day and age, or just to do anything in this industry, because sometimes it, without backing, without the managers, without the publicists, without that powerhouse team, when you're just a team from the Bronx like myself, dreams are just dreams and they don't become realities. So I've got shut up by, a lot of, publication resources that I tried to use to publish my book, and they all rejected me. I've been rejected by over 100 celebrities. I've literally DM'd a lot of people to help me publish this book. So one day I said, you know what? Regardless, I'm going to put this book out this year, and it's going to be successful, and I'm going to help some souls. So I decided to do it independently, and, it became a reality.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on doing it independently and not giving up based off of all the rejection that you received. Now, I hear you have something special for our guests, so you want to let them know?
Yes. So I'm partnering up with B100 radio station to give 10 listeners to the station a free digital copy of my book, Lessons Learned, when it comes out on November 17th. Just, contact the station and let them know you're interested, and we'll be choosing names. Also, the week leading up to the book release, I want to give one free book a day to a lucky listener. So just, as I said, call the station and, give them your name and your information, and it can be you.
Absolutely. And let them know how they can keep up with you, Daniel.
Yes. So you can basically go on Facebook and type in Daniel Adlam, or you can look at my brand page, The Daniel Adlam, and Instagram at I am Daniel Adlam. I'm also open for bookings for workshops where I can come teach about the book and help everybody grow professionally as well as personally. I would love to start traveling to different schools, organizations, and just help as much people as I can. Portions of all proceeds will be going to charity. And also tonight I'm launching another raffle with, a partner, Mark Murphy. He's a fashion designer. And anybody who goes on 40xlclothing.com and purchases a product will be entered automatically into a raffle for another free copy of my book. So there's a lot of chances to win a free copy. So just, follow those platforms and, see what happens. And I just pray to God that this book helps everybody listening just see the light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what you're going through, God is there, and you have people that love you and care about you.
Absolutely. And Daniel, I appreciate you. I appreciate you telling your story, because I feel like there's so many other people who are put in domestic situations, and unfortunately they aren't as lucky as you are or as blessed as you are to make it out. There's a lot of people who kill themselves based off of not being able to handle everything that comes with them, and you lost a lot and you were still able to keep going. So I applaud you. We are giving away some of the copies of the books for our B100 World Hit Radio family. So hit me up 1-4 or call me up 678-479-4100. I'll be giving away some of Daniel's books, so if you're interested, let me know, okay? And Daniel, I want to thank you for calling, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks.
B100 World Hit Radio family, that was just Daniel Adlam, and he called in to talk about his book, Lessons Learned. Guys, Daniel was in a very domestic situation, and he wanted to call in and let us know that there is a light at the other end of the tunnel if you don't give up, all right? But we're going to get back into the music again. Shout out to Daniel for calling in and letting us know that, he put a book out and that he's there to support and speak and go out and just educate everybody on domestic violence. We are in November 1st. Last month was Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but I just wanted to end on that note, okay? But we're going to get back into the music. It's the Day Party, Woman Crush Wednesday, Kiara M. I'm in the building. It's B100 World Hit Radio.
Why stay local
From the clubs to the radio to the streets.
when you can go global? We are the all-new B100 World Hit Radio.